All right, story time with Drew.
Right. So basically,
How did we get here, really?
how did we get here? So basically, I've been boating for about 7-8 years now, and always, into fishing and sandbars and restaurant. Anything on water, I'm sold basically. And we were fishing offshore one day with 5 of my other buddies, close friends basically, offshore. We were 20 miles offshore from St. Petersburg, Florida, and we were wrapping up the day. I'm cleaning the boat. I'm telling the guys, like, hey guys, let's wrap up. We need to go back. We have 2 hours of daylight left before it gets dark, right? And few of my friends are like, no, one more fish, right? And
Yeah, I've never heard that on a boat before.
So they were still fishing, and I was being the boat owner, cleaning the boat. And my friend goes, hey, there's a boat coming our way in the distance. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, it's normal. You see boats out there, right?
Yeah, sure.
No, I thought he was going to just either drive by me, because here in Florida, what happens is you see somebody fishing somewhere, right, on anchor. What people do is they will drive near them and they will mark the spot on the chart plotter, because they know there might be fish underneath that boat, right? And
yeah, I would never do that.
So they basically, if you don't have enough fishing spots, they basically find new spots that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I never do it, I never agree with it, but that happens. So when the boat was coming towards us, I'm like, okay, maybe he's just gonna swing by and mark the spot. Or he would just come and fish next to us. A lot of times people will literally pull up to you and fish right next to you.
Yeah, they're reeling across. How's the fishing? Well, it's good. Okay, it's okay here. Right. So it might be okay over there too, right?
So it does happen. So I didn't think of it much, and I go back to cleaning. And within another 10-20 seconds, my friend goes like, Drew, he's really coming at us. And I look up, and the boat's full speed. The bow is out of the water, like they're probably doing 30 miles per hour. And I'm like, crap. Like, I grab my air horn, I press the boat horn. We're all yelling as loud as we can, and it happened so quick. Like within 10 seconds, not even 10. I just said, guys, jump. And I was the first one to jump off the boat, because my boat was already anchored in the water, engines are off, everything. So we didn't really have time to even move my boat out of the way, right? We were already there, everything shut off, engines are up. So I just said, guys, jump. And I jumped. I was the first one to jump in the water as a captain, because I'm not playing chicken with boat, basically. So, and then one of my friends jumped with me, and the 3 other guys jumped on the other side. And I jumped, and my goal was to just go down and stay down as far as I can, as long as I can, because I don't know where this boat's going to hit us, and I don't want to be involved in the propellers hitting my head, basically, or my body. So I was wearing a life vest, luckily. I always wear a life vest, even before the accident. I'm not a good swimmer. I grew up in India, so where I grew up, it was a landlocked city. There was no water. Parents really never taught me how to swim, because there was really no need for it. So I'm not a good swimmer, so I always had that on me, and I'm so happy I did. Otherwise, I would not be sitting here right now and talking to you. So I went down and I pulled. It's an inflatable life vest. So you pull the string, and it blows up on you.
Yeah, that's what I got from my kayak.
Right, so it's not very, in the way when you're fishing and doing stuff, versus wearing a regular life vest. Right. That's kind of bulky, it's not comfortable. So I pulled it, sure it worked. It brought me back up on the water like a dolphin. Like I literally it shot me up out of the water, because the thing blew, and the ballast, or whatever we call it. And the boat hit my boat, was on top of my boat. We heard the engines come out of the water, because it was literally on top. My T-top of my boat completely destroyed. And I guess I do some pictures that you can maybe overlay, so the users can see what it looks like. But his boat was on top, and then because of all the weight, it fell back in the water, because my boat tilted. I thought my boat would probably tip over, but his boat fell back in the water, and it still kept going because his throttles were still up. So what happened was he was running on autopilot and not paying attention. So just like Teslas, boats also have autopilots, but they're not as smart as Teslas. So when there's something in the way, they don't always alert you. Now there are some new ones they will. I'm not sure if he had which system he had, but basically he had the autopilot on and they were not paying attention. So hit me, fell back in the water. The boat still kept going. The people on that boat fell on the ground, and they had to get up to slow the boat down, because the hit was so hard, they all just fell. and they had a couple of wrist injuries and stuff like that. They even had one kid on the boat. Luckily, they turned around, came back looking for us, and honestly, we weren't sure. I thought I had lost a friend of mine because, you know, when you all in the water, scattered 20 miles offshore, we couldn't see the other side of the boat.
Right.
So I didn't know what to expect. So we all got up on the boat, and luckily everybody was fine. I mean, the fact that there was no injuries, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I still get goosebumps talking about it. But
it sounds crazy. I mean, I just can't even imagine.
Extremely lucky. We got extremely lucky. There was one friend of mine. It was his first time offshore, and he was the last one to jump in the water, and he saw propellers going by his head underwater. So if his head was just a few inches this way, he would not be here.
Oh,
that's how close this was. I mean, it literally broke the fishing rods in half. The T-top tubes, you know, like the metal tubes you have, broke in half. The metal was broken in half. The engine, metal bracket, broke. Like, so it was that hard of a hit that it was literally breaking like 2-inch thick metal.
And the other boat did not sink.
It did not sink.
Okay.
He had literally like there was damage obviously on his hull or quite a bit, but somehow the boat didn't sink. It still had one more layer to go.
Okay.
And my boat didn't sink either because all the damage was on top. It was above the waterline. I think it didn't sink because it was already on plane. So when it hit my boat, like
it was it was like it skimmed over top of it. Right, not like slamming into it.
Right,
It was
exactly. That's the only reason I was didn't sink.
Wow. And so after that, you know, like
I had Coast Guard on site.
Yeah.
I had my PLB on me. So anyone who's watching this, always have your PLBs, EPIRBs, you know, flares. Always have that on you. It's somewhere you can just grab quickly. In my case, I didn't even have time to grab my actual EPIRB that's on my boat. But luckily, I had a PLB, which is a little smaller unit that I was on my fanny pack. So I was able to press it.
Bang.
And it went.
Right.
They called my parents, and so they didn't know what happened. All they know is I pressed the button, right?
Right.
They're asking my parents, what was he wearing? Like, how many people? Where did he go? So my parents were extremely scared. My girlfriend, my parents, they were like, because they thought I might be dead, right? When you get a call like that from somebody asking you what was he wearing?
Yeah.
You know, you do the
man.
So it was extremely stressful for them because they didn't know what was happening.
Right.
You know, but at least the beauty of it worked. They call Coast Guard. Coast Guard's on the radio now.
Yeah.
Coast Guard comes on site.
I think it's a great testimony. So you're wearing your life vest and you had a PLB on you offshore, and I probably could do a better job with that myself. I mean,
Right.
I always wear my kayak or my vest on my kayak because I'm out there alone.
Right.
You know, but and I'm a really good swimmer, but still, you know, I don't have a PLB. I mean, I'm not the boat owner either, but I go out pretty regularly, so I probably should be doing that.
I think with kayak, it's even in some situations even more scary because. So basically, after my accident, we almost had to get lawyers involved. One of the lawyers told me like there have been incidents where boaters run over kayakers because it's hard to see kayakers sometimes.
Yeah, because they're loaded with water.
Mangroves and you're just going around the corner.
Yeah.
And you could be fishing just around the corner, and it's a blind spot, and the boat is flying, and now it's turning. Remember, boats don't have brakes.
Right.
It's not like a car; you can just hit a brake and it will stop. It's gonna go, and you can, you know, not saying it never happened to you, but I'm just saying like it's just as dangerous to be even on kayak if you're going to be around boat traffic, you know, because the boat can hit you, whatnot. I've seen people get drifted out in the ocean on their kayaks, and now they don't have enough power to come back.
Right.
And what do you do in that situation if you don't have a phone, or the phone doesn't work, phone's wet, fell in the water, whatever the case is, dead? You need the POB to let them know that, hey, I need help. And when you press it, it's a GPS signal, so they'll know exactly where you are. And they'll find you in no time. Versus them having to scan for you in the ocean because your family called them 6 hours later saying, hey, he never came back.
Yeah.
And now it's already dark, it's hard to see, all that stuff, right? So always have that on you, especially even if you're gonna be on kayak, I guess. But yeah, that was the story. After that, I went to go buy a camera because I was like, if this happened during daytime, imagine nighttime, what can happen, right? And the camera I wanted was $14,000. And I was like, I can't afford $14,000.
So you made one.
So I made one, yeah. Being the you know, the nerd, being the almost
Fantastic.
So I made one, and I my girlfriend goes, you need to sell these. Like, it'd be silly not to start a business, because you did it for a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
It's still not as affordable as I want it to be, but we're still significantly more affordable than the next guys
Yeah.
out there. So she's like, you have to start this, and then I started, and it was from garage, just like you.
Yep.
Started selling, and then the hurricane came, took everything, and basically forced us to really go 100%.
Right.
You know, quit my job, and now I'm full time doing this, from boat shows to talking to all sorts of customers.
Yeah.
Like, we have our
to talking to famous YouTubers like me.
Oh yeah. In fact, we have one more guy coming tomorrow as well. That also wants to make a video.
Oh, great!
Video like
That's
this.
wonderful.
So it's great, because even if you're not interested in manufacturing,
Mm-hmm.
just the fact that my story on safety, if I can get the word out on just safety,
Sure.
it's not even about buying my product.
Yeah. I mean, you got me thinking about it. I'm on,
Right.
you know, and I mean, I think for me, I would like to go kayak fishing a little bit more. I always wear my vest, because it's not even in the way, you know.
Right.
But like I haven't thought about that. I just it didn't occur to me. But
People get lost at sea all the time in
Yeah.
our area, and my goal is to reduce that number as much as we can, because it's not even that hard. It's not expensive to buy a PLB. It's $120. The brand name was Zolio. I know Garmin has a Garmin InReach and a few of the brands, but there's definitely options for everyone in their budget to buy a safety device, that can potentially save their or somebody else's life. So that's always been my goal with these videos, to focus on that part. And then if you do have a boat, hey, you can buy my camera to be even more safe.
my plan is to go boating with you.
Yeah, let's.
I'll bring some gas money and we'll go fishing.
Oh, I'm not even worried about
Fantastic.
it. So basically, our cameras, they're CMOS based cameras. Right?
Okay.
We also have thermal cameras. We don't really, right now, we're not focusing on them very much, but we do have them. Majority of our customers are buying full color CMOS night vision camera, because
Okay.
the resolution is much higher than thermal
okay.
infrared cameras.
Okay.
The field of view is also wider. So a lot of these thermal cameras, they're rotating, so they're 360 cameras that you use a joystick to turn. But because our camera is a wide angle camera, you don't really need to turn,
Okay.
for the most part, because it gives you
You
nice
just see
view
whatever
of
everything
the
that's
whole
going on.
camera. The resolution, like I said, is 1080p, or you can go up to 4K if you wanted to. Because it's full color, now you can look at a channel marker and know it's a red marker, or if it's a
Okay.
green marker.
Right, and then it really helps you, line it up with your chart,
line up
and
the
really know
chart,
where
so
you are,
stay in the
right?
channel, basically, right?
Right.
Where the thermal cameras are black and white, so they don't show you the color.
Okay.
They don't see the visible light spectrum at all. So if there's a flashing light on a marker, those cameras won't see it. Our full color cameras will see that light miles away. I mean, heck, we were going to see the fireworks show on 4th of July, and on the way back, we saw jet skiers running in the night.
Probably with no lights.
Yeah, with no lights.
Yeah.
No lights, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I look at it, like, what is that? I see the, like the what's it
That
called?
is not a dolphin. Yeah, that's a really fast dolphin.
Right. We
Oh
saw
my gosh.
the
I mean,
water,
people,
turning up water.
there's just no end to
Right.
that sort
And
of
then
thing,
we
like
have seen
stupidity.
even kayakers, like, no offense, but we've seen
No,
kayakers
I mean,
with little light on them, and the light just not bright. You could not see this light. Like, you may
Yeah.
see it with 5 feet away, but if I'm driving 30 miles per hour,
Right.
and I'm coming fast in the channel, I can't see that kayak.
yeah, I don't go out at night anymore. I mean, like, there's some cool fishing to be done at night, but I don't go
Right.
out at night.
So-
I mean, I have my light is like that, exactly like what you described. It's just this tiny little light with a AA battery or something like that, and it's like, I'm just gonna go out in the morning. First light is probably 45 minutes before sunrise. And I'll be on the water right around first light, so I still have my light on the back of my kayak, but it's pretty insignificant. I mean, it's just like, well, I've met the regulation, but still, is it safe?
Right.
Not so much.
So I mean, when does fish bite? Morning and evening, right? Before sunset, after sunset.
Yeah.
So all the guys, I mean, they're running, like the guys running offshore, they leave our hour and a half before the sun about to come up.
Right.
So when they get there, the sun's just coming out, and
Yeah.
lights absolutely fire at that.
Yeah. That's
So
the best
you
bite of
wanna
the
run in
day.
the dark to get out there a lot of times. Or if the fishing's biting really good, and now it's like, hey, we can catch our limit, but it's gonna get dark. It's
Right.
like, do you want to go home or do you want to catch fish? And a lot of times, I mean, for safety reasons, people just go home, right?
Right.
But with these cameras, it gives you a little bit extra time where you can safely go back, use
Right.
the camera,
Right.
and still catch your fish, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you spent all week long, or for some people it's like every 2 weeks or even a month, right? You worked all month long, and you got on the boat and you've got $200 worth of fuel easily,
Or more.
depending how big the boat is, right? 200.
200, I would be happy, but I mean, it's like $1,000 to fill my boat nowadays.
Oh, how many engines you have?
I got 2 engines, 90-gallon tanks each. So it's damn near $800 to $1,000 with marina fuel prices.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a nice boat.
You said you're going to pay for gas, right?
Maybe one time. Oh, I go out with my buddy Jose's got a boat, and it's like, I think it's got a 150 horsepower motor. I put in like $100, and you know.
So usually the $120 is it's fair. I'm not
Yeah.
going to use the whole tank.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you got quite the range. I mean, but you're still going to go 25 miles or 30 miles or 40 miles round trip.
30 to 40.
Yeah, 30 to 40 miles. So it you know, the fuel. So you get the fuel, the bait. You know, all of the all the rods, reels, everything. You know, you spent tons of money to get out there, and it's like if the bite is on, then yeah, the pressure or the desire to stay out there for a little bit longer is sometimes overwhelming. I get it. I mean, I've been there.
That's a perfect point. I mean,
Yeah.
the boat price. I mean,
Right.
You know, all the research you did. Okay, here are the fishing spots.
Oh, yeah.
Go to this spot.
Yeah,
All
you got
that.
relief shading and
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
strike line and everything, whatever you paid for to get out on that spot to get those fish, and then it was like, oh, we're running out of light. And you're like, that does not seem important.
Or you go in the afternoon and the bite's already off because
Right.
it's too hot.
Right.
Fish is not biting. You know, the major feeding times already passed by.
Right.
And all that preparation and money is disappointment, right?
Yeah.
You come back with 1 or 2 fish and you're just like, oh, I could have caught my limit and I didn't, or no fish sometimes.
Yeah.
And so it really makes that the details in fishing in any, I mean, you can ask any old fisherman, like, it does make a difference when you care about the little details.
Yeah.
All those things pile up and then you have success. That's when you see
Right.
this,
Right.
you know.
Well, that's why, like, you know, the boat's a platform, but that's why people will spend so much money on a rod and reel and a hook. They don't care if the hook costs $10,
Right, yeah.
right? Because it's like that's the piece that's going in the fish's mouth, right? If and I'm the same way. I'm like I'm not going to buy cheap stuff. I want to, you know.
For using one time.
Yeah, exactly. Or you don't want it to break. You know, you don't want, like, you get the big fish on it, like, oh, I broke the hook. No, you're gonna buy really good stuff because of exactly that reason. All right. Well, now we're talking fishing. This could go on for forever. So I'm gonna cut this off. But thank you so much for letting me come and look at your setup here and hear your whole story. And I think we got a lot of video, so it's probably going to be like more than one chunk.
Right,
you know,
yeah.
I'll break it up on my channel. And I'm not great at this stuff. I've just started it, but I enjoy talking to people and hearing their stories and talking about business and all the challenges like that you had were the same parallel challenges that I've had. So to find somebody else who's in the thick of it is really fun.
Yep.
You know. All right. Well, blessings on all of your business, and thanks again for letting me video everything.
Yeah, thank you. If anyone who's watching wants to learn more,
Yep.
we have our own YouTube channel. They can visit. We have tons of demo videos too on there. Visit our website, BoatEye360.com. If you're local, stop by, or you can always call us directly, and we can help you figure out which camera is best for you and your setup. And yeah, let's keep you safe on the water. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Drew.